ChatGPT-4o make me this super ugly thumbnail. Even though everyone is saying that it is super great at generating the Studio Ghibli images on the latest release. At the same time, Grok 3 also released an edit image feature just a few days ago. In this video, I'm going to show you the comparison between Grok 3 versus ChatGPT-4o in terms of their capabilities. We will dive into the specific areas for comparison in terms of number 1, accurate text and numbers. Number 2, schematic diagrams, the ability to give detailed explanation via an image. Number 3, material transformation and real-world photos. Number 4, character consistency. And number 5, sketch to real artwork pipeline. Let's move on to the famous Studio Ghibli prompt. So I've got a real person image over here, and my prompt is very simple. Make this image into Studio Ghibli style. For ChatGPT-4o, it gives me this image. Now it looks so cool because it is just like what everyone else is testing, right? So it is actually working. It is Studio Ghibli style. The other interesting thing is that if you look at this original picture, on the shirt, the words are reverted. It is mirrored. But on the generated picture by ChatGPT-4o, you can see that the words are corrected. I would say it is very satisfactory on this image generation, which is within our expectation. Let's look at how Grok does. The prompt is the same. Make this image Studio Ghibli, and this is the output. Now you can see that for this Grok 3 generated output, it is not Studio Ghibli at all, but it is still pretty nice looking. However, the background has changed. Initially, this original background, it is just pure white wall, but this background has turned into a forest. And one more good thing about this picture is that the words on the shirt, they are also being corrected. Just that if you look at the fingers, they are not as realistic. So over here, if we just look at the prompt itself, our goal is to make Studio Ghibli style picture. Of course, ChatGPT wins on this. Now let us move on to the real stuff. The next thing that I'm going to test whether ChatGPT or Grok 3 can write accurate text and numbers in the image. Now I've got an image over here which is KLCC. So my prompt is very simple. Create an image that only contains the Twin Towers, remove other buildings. This is request number 1. Then move the Twin Towers to the left side of the image. This is request number 2. On the right side, write the words Petronas Twin Towers, line break, built on line break, 1st of March 1993. Now in this prompt itself, there are 3 requests, and see whether ChatGPT-4o can fulfill this. And this is the output. I would say this is really amazing because it has helped to remove other buildings, just only left with the Twin Towers. And it has been moved to the left side, and then on the right side you can see the words, the letters, the numbers, they are all correct. Just that maybe for the Petronas, this is not as centered aligned as it is, but I would say this is 95% great job. And let's move on to Grok 3. Same picture, same prompt, and see what it gives. Now this is the output from Grok 3. And I would say this one, right, it fulfills 0 out of 3 requests that I have got in the prompt itself. And I don't know why there's one extra half-built building in the middle of Twin Towers. It is not moved on to the right side, and there's literally no words, no numbers here at all. So in terms of accurate text and numbers, of course, ChatGPT-4o wins again. The next thing is the ability to draw a schematic diagram. So I would like the tools to create an image something like this with a little bit of explanation of what each does. I don't have any reference picture for it, and I just write the prompt, make me a schematic diagram that shows the butterfly life cycle from an egg. It should be clear, easy to understand, write a description with less than 10 words at each stage for concise illustration. And this is the output by ChatGPT. Now, at the first glance, it looks really perfect. The words are correct. There are butterflies, there are caterpillars, egg, everything is correct. Just that if you notice, right, the sequence is not correct. So butterfly becomes a caterpillar, and then there's this egg over here. So the sequence is not correct, even though the picture, everything, the words are correct. So I asked it for an update. I said the diagram is great, but the life cycle sequence is wrong. So double check on it, keep all the elements exactly the same. I want everything here the same, just that the sequence changed to the current one because I really love the image being produced. So after a while, it shows an error message. Thanks for pointing that out. Unfortunately, there was an error when trying to generate the corrected version of the diagram. Once you're ready, feel free to reissue the request. So I just said, please proceed. Again, it says it cannot generate the correct diagram due to a system error. Now it starts to have some problems when I ask it to refine the diagrams. Please generate the butterfly life cycle with the correct sequence, and I will take care of it right away. Right? So I exactly copy and paste the same thing, just that I added while keeping all the elements the same. But it is still not able to generate the image for me. And it says what? It says that there is a temporary rate limit on image generation. It should clear up in about 4 minutes. So I patiently waited for 4 minutes, and after 4 minutes, I asked for it to generate again. Please generate now with the correct sequence. And what happened is that this image is even worse than the previous one. And one thing I found out about image generation by GPT-4o is that it can only create things for once. If you ask it to refine what is in the existing image, right, it can do it for you very nice. So I will leave it as it is. This is the final output by ChatGPT-4o. And let's move on to Grok. The same prompt and see what's the outcome. Now this is the outcome by Grok 3. I would really laugh at this image output by Grok 3 because it is literally meaningless. It doesn't make sense for it. So again, ChatGPT-4o wins on this category. And I will move on to the next test, which is material transformation of real-world photos. I've got this bottle with me, which is a steel Nike bottle. I took it as an image and I sent it to both Grok and ChatGPT. And my prompt is very simple. I said that make this steel bottle into a Tupperware-like plastic bottle. I want to change this material while keeping everything the same. And I was trying it with Grok 3 at first. What happens was that it says, sorry, we are unable to process your attachment right now. Please try again later. And I actually repeat the same thing for 3 times, but it doesn't really give me the results. I think maybe the limit has reached, and because of the previous test, right, Grok 3 actually fails on every single category. So from now onwards, I won't test it on Grok 3 anymore. We will now focus on just GPT-4o. So on GPT-4o, the same image, the same prompt, and see what it gives me. This is the image. Now this one looks really great. It just turned my black bottle, my black steel bottle, into a black plastic Tupperware bottle, and even the word below, from Nike, it turns to Tupperware. This is very nice. And the other thing to take note is that except for that bottle, everything else remained almost the same. This yellow table remained the same. And more specifically, the shadow on the bottle, it is the same as well. if you compare these two images, the shadow is going to the right bottom side. The generated image is the same. So I would say this is really a fantastic work. And moving on to test number 4, which is character consistency. I uploaded an image of my dog Tuesday. I will ask ChatGPT to make it into a different style or pattern of the same dog. So turn this dog into a real world plushie toy. Wow, this is really 3D plushie toy style. For the dog itself, the face doesn't look extremely the same, but it is almost similar. I would say this is really good. And apart from the dog itself, everything else, you see the tiles on the floor, they are the same, which is great. Then the next one, I want to level up the game by sending a lot of requests on one single prompt and generate it on a single image. I'm using the same dog as the input, and I say make 5 variations of this dog into a single image. It should consist of 2D hand sketch style, 3D real world piggy bank style, wood sculpture style, silver metallic style, and blue color silicone style. This is a very hard request because each of it will be one image on its own, and it can process, it can make the output clear, but 5 at once and see what it happens. This is the output. Whoa! At first glance, it is really amazing because the first one is 2D hand sketch. It really looks like my dog. Then number 2 is the piggy bank style. This dog, it is quite different from the rest of the other dogs. I don't know why. Then for the wooden one, it's great. The metallic, silver metallic one, and the silicone one, it looks like rubber. This is fantastic. Just that for that second dog, I don't know why it is a different dog. And for the piggy bank, the coin slot, it is not in the middle. And the other one is the caption. The first one, it should be 2D hand sketch. The second one should be like piggy bank. I think it wrote egg because my previous prompt was about the butterfly, about the egg. So that's why it is carrying the memory from the previous conversation. So I asked it to refine further. The second dog look different than rest. This recreate the same image but make sure all the other dogs the same. And again, when I ask it for refinement of an image, right, there will always be an error. However, ChatGPT understands about the words. The egg and pen might doesn't really make sense in the context. That should have been labeled sketch and piggy bank instead. So I asked it to regenerate again. So this is the regenerated version. It is not as great as the first one, to be honest, because over here, the second dog is much bigger than the rest, and the fourth dog, it is being squeezed in the middle. Although the captions are correct, it has been corrected to sketch and piggy bank, but the materials are not there. You see, for wood, I want a wood sculpture instead of a brown color dog. It still have furs on it, which I don't want. You see the silicone one, it still have furs, which I want it to be the previous one, a rubber-like material. I think probably it is because of my prompt, because my prompt says make sure all the dogs look the same, so that's why it comes out with this. So I have to refine my prompt engineering next time. But overall, this has been a really great, huge update from the previous image generation method. Then the last thing that we are testing is the sketch to real artwork pipeline. I have a sketch over here. I'm making a thumbnail of this YouTube video, so I just sketch it on my iPad and I throw it up to ChatGPT with my own face. So I'm saying that there are 2 images in this message. I want to make a new YouTube thumbnail that's high converting. So I say I want to make a YouTube thumbnail that's following the structure of the sketch, which is a person in the middle, followed by ChatGPT-4o on the left, Grok 3 on the right. Then there's image king, these 2 words on the top as the headline. And make sure your image output size is compatible with YouTube thumbnail. And finally, this is the thumbnail that you see on this video itself. Is exactly the same, but the output itself is terrible. First of all, the person is not in the middle image king, the I word is missing, and there are so many statements. I just want me myself replacing the statement in the middle, but it gives me two other statements with one cartoon. So this one is completely messed up, and there's no Grok 3 logo over here. Then I again give my comments. There are so many flaws in this picture. I give 4 at least, and I said please redo the thumbnail and make sure it has high CPR. But for some reason it didn't give me an output again, and it says I wasn't able to generate the updated thumbnail because this request violates our content policies. I think it is because it involves real human face. When it comes to real human face, ChatGPT knows that people will be misusing some other people's face for scam, for whatever reason. So there's a problem with human face recreation, and even for my own face, it has been changed. It is not my face anymore. So that's why in the thumbnail that you see in this video, I actually put an extra sunglasses over here. But overall, ChatGPT still cannot produce a real good thumbnail for YouTube video. If you would like to see more comparisons and updates like this, remember to subscribe to our channel and comment below what you like the most. And I will see you next time. Bye!